check your throttle. Roll it towards you, and if you roll it the right way, rolling it toward you, it should roll back into idle. You do not want an instant overspeed on startup. So we're ready to go. So master's on. It's been on for the video, but master turns on now. Strobe light turns on. Check your area, make sure it's clear. Blades are level. Come over to the mags, just like a car. Turn both mags on. I usually like to check my throttle one more time. It's closed. Alright, let's start this thing. 3, 2, 1. Engine's running, oil pressure's on, alternator, clutch, right away. Clutch light comes on, alternator light turns off. We're going to hold the RPMs with the throttle at about 60% on the startup. First start of the morning it can stall, depending on how hard the gauge on how hard the belts engage. Nice little grab here. Belts are still engaging, that's good to see. Hold about 55%. Note your oil pressure. Your carb temp right now is in the yellow, so we're going to give it a little carb heat today. Use your right hand, pull that carb heat up. Carb temp is coming out of the yellow. At this time, I usually like to turn my radios on. COM 1's on, COM 2's on. Make sure you can hear the volume of your radio. Check COM 2. Alright, clutch lights off. Roll it between 60 and 70% for the warm-up. The 22 is anywhere between 70 and 80%, so the 44 is 10% lower. So we're sitting here and waiting for this guy to warm up. Everything looks good. It's a waiting game now. Now, since I'm instructing, you normally would turn on the transponder, turn on the test, make sure it lights up. Alright, you cannot take off in the helicopter until all the gauges are in the green. So in the meantime, we can go ahead and do our mag check, carb heat check, our sprag clutch check, everything but taking off. So we're going to check both mags. We're going to check the left mag first. So one click to the left, count for 2 seconds, making sure the engine doesn't stumble, doesn't shake. You know, shouldn't have more than a 7% drop in 2 seconds. So one click left. Right, it's still coming down. Go back to both. Back up to 70%. Let's check the right mag. So 2 clicks left. 1, 2. Listen, look at the gauge. Everything feels good, looks good. Back to both mags. So we know both mags are working properly. We'll check a sprag clutch. So we're going to roll it up just a little bit. Snap the throttle toward you. So I just went. This is how I check the sprag clutch. Watch this. Note, the needles have split. You want to let the needles rejoin before you bring the RPMs back up. So they're married. Bring it back up for the additional warm-up. Now note that all the gauges are in the green now. It'll take a lot more time to get them in the green during the winter time, obviously, because it's colder. So we'll check our carb heat. Watch the gauge. I'm going to press down on the carb heat here. Watch the gauge drop. So it works. Look for a rise. We already know it rises because we've already been working it. And that's it. So now, I'm just doing a run-up, so I'm just going to push this carb heat back down. A nice, cool, dense air. We're going to take the cyclic friction off first. So friction's off. Trim comes on. Whenever the friction is on, make sure that the cyclic trim is turned off or they'll fight each other. So collective friction comes off. So we're going to roll it up to 80% where the governor will take over. So I'm at 75. I'm going to flip the governor on, flipping the switch toward you. And we'll note 80% it should take over. There, that's all governor right there. We're going to check the low warning horn and light. So we're going to raise the collective up a little bit. And we're going to roll it down about 97%. The horn should turn on. I usually like to take it all the way down to 90%. Make sure it stays on the whole time. So that's the run-up for an R44 Astro. You're ready to go flying. Alright, we're shutting down, 2-minute cool down. So first things first, get it down to between 60 and 70%. Then we turn the trim motors off, and then cyclic friction comes on. The collective friction comes on. Governor turns off. I usually turn my radios off at this time. That way the only thing I have to do is kill the engine. So radio's turned off. Transponder's off. You're going to do, so pretend we've done a 2-minute cool down. You're going to flip the clutch switch. Disengaging. No, we started at the 9. Clutch light comes on. We're going to wait 30 seconds before we're going to kill the engine. And by doing that, we never use the key to kill the engine. We always pull the mixture up. We basically starve it of fuel in order to shut it down. So we have 10 seconds to go. Do not wait longer than 30 seconds or the belts may slip and you'll just glaze the belts and they'll have a shorter lifetime. So it's been 30 seconds, so come down here, press down, pull up, engine stopped, place the mixture guard back on, and wait for the blades to stop. Now the engine is not running, so we can go ahead and turn off the mags, and our alternator's not charging because the engine's not running, so you can go ahead and turn the alternator off as well. So we're just going to sit here. Do not use the rotor brake unless it's really windy and you need the blades to stop fast, or you just have to, stop because someone's walking toward you. The more you use this brake, the faster it will wear down. Now, if you do use it, I'll demonstrate how to use it. If you do use the brake, you kill the engine, wait 30 seconds before you start pulling. Now, up until here, you can feel when it makes contact. This is when you just pull just a little bit further and go in short bursts. You do not want to heat the pad up on the rotor brake because it'll heat the seal up on the main rotor gearbox and make it start leaking after a time. So I usually never even touch the rotor brake. And that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the master off and call it a day.